Donald Dietz disappeared in 2007 from his Ionia County home. His body was never found. Now, you may remember him as the Bicycle Man, but most know him now as the victim in a criminal trial that has waged on for years. One man is in prison for the crime. A jury found Rami Saba guilty of kidnapping this summer. A jury convicted another man too, Ouedraogo. But today, all that changed. 24 Hour News 8's Danny Carlson has been on the story all evening. And Danny, you've gathered some perspective for us tonight.
That's right, Marley. This is the reason that all of this has changed. It's a 36-page decision from U.S. District Court Judge Janet Neff that overturns Ouedraogo's conviction, a case she presided over. We got a chance to get some perspective on this case tonight and also speak with Ouedraogo's attorney on this rare and shocking turn of events.
I imagine the people at the U.S. Attorney's Office are quite surprised, too. You know, it really is extremely unusual.
Kurt Benson is a professor at Cooley Law School. He says today's ruling is rare for a few different reasons.
The United States Attorney gets to choose which cases to bring, and they only bring cases where they have sufficient evidence to warrant a conviction.
But in this case, Judge Neff says even though a jury decided back in March that Ouedraogo was guilty of conspiracy to commit bank fraud, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, and kidnapping resulting in death, the evidence just wasn't there.
You don't know what's going to happen, so there's always that anxiety and feeling of uncertainty, but I don't think anybody gave up hope.
Ouedraogo and another man, Rami Saba, were both accused of playing a part in the disappearance and presumed death of Donald Dietz back in 2007. In the decision, Judge Neff calls the prosecution's case, quote, an ever-evolving conspiracy theory, calls the evidence lacking, and points out that there's no body, no crime scene, no proven time of death, or any physical evidence that shows Ouedraogo's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
And she's essentially saying it's not that it's a circumstantial case. We have a lot of circumstantial cases. Nothing wrong with circumstantial evidence. But what she was saying is this is an inference based upon an inference, which is based upon an inference. And at some point, the evidence simply becomes so remote that, at some point it becomes speculation.
Following the judge's decision to overturn the conviction, Ouedraogo was released from custody, and we wanted to know why.
Yeah, I mean, he's acquitted, he's acquitted. I mean, to the extent that a judge says, by law, you're not guilty, then 1 minute in jail is a deprivation of his rights. So it's not surprising that he was sprung immediately.
I think really the only thing he's really thinking about right now is to get home and see his kids and wife for Christmas.
Even though Ouedraogo is out of jail right now, our expert Kurt Benson says that doesn't mean he'll necessarily stay out. The U.S. Attorney's Office has filed a motion to try to get Ouedraogo back behind bars until an appeals court rules if the judge's decision stands. A decision from the Court of Appeals could take several months.